Should you, ooh, look at that set. Should you become a ticketed carpenter? Sure, but you don't have to be successful. My name's Jake, the owner of NY's Construction, and I am a college dropout. I'm also a university dropout, and I am not a ticketed carpenter. But put me toe to toe with any ticketed carpenter. I'm happy to roll with them. I'm not knocking them. I hire them. I work with them. They're my friends. They're often surprised when I tell them I'm not ticketed. You don't have to go to school to be dangerous at something. You need to get your reps in. You need experience. So I'm going to share with you on my YouTube channel my experience, how I've gone from basically being a traveling school dropout to having a very fulfilling career in carpentry. And I've done jobs that a lot of carpenters never have enough, they're not fortunate enough to land jobs that cool and be part of projects that are that cool. And also now I run my own profitable general contracting business. So yes, my journey, also we are on the south of Vancouver Island, one of my favorite surf spots. I've surf stoke right now. Sometimes you got to pay yourself first, and I've come out on a middle of a Wednesday to get a surf in, shoot a little footy, and go back to work. But my experience in the trades has been, I started when I was very young. I was 14 years old. I was making $8 an hour for a legend named Rick Brown. I actually got fired because I was too young. I had to come back when I was 16. And Rick Brown gave me my work ethic. And that was a huge gift. He wired my brain as a young child how to be a good worker. And that gift, that's the gift that keeps on giving. I just continue to grow. And my career has been the trajectory of exponential growth. And so through my 20s, I was learning the world, traveling, going to school, learning about myself. But at the core, I'm a builder. That's just what I do. I build. I build structures. I build, relationships. I build social media off of social media platforms. Even if I had all the money in the world and I didn't have to work, I'd be building something, right? So that's my dharma. That is my path. And so through my 20s, I was exploring, doing different jobs, different, school, paths that didn't work out for me. And then around the time I was 30, I started back in construction because it's what I had the most experience in. And it was what I was the happiest doing, with moving my body, and just my mind is always stimulated, learning different ways to build, different techniques and things of that nature. So I around 30, moved to Victoria, BC with my wife, and we decided we were going to stop traveling. We were tired of the burnout of having to start over again every time we went on big trips and spent all our money. And so I started from the bottom, and I was working for companies doing maintenance, and then I was doing small renovations, and then I got into a construction company. And you really don't need letters beside your name. You don't need your ticket. What you need is for somebody to see that you're kind of smart, that you're a problem solver. And sorry, I thought someone's coming. I was getting all nervous. So you just need someone to see you, and not what your past is, but what your potential is, right? And that's what happened to me. My boss, we ended on the not in a great way, but I have so much gratitude to him because he really threw me in the deep end. And I went from, kind of doing renovations, and then I am what's called an autodidact, right? I am self-taught. There's no formal teacher to me. There's certain people in my life that I almost download their process. So for me, that moment was I worked with my buddy Kelvin, who is a great red seal carpenter and great framer. And I did one build with him in the Highlands, And I figured out, I just watched him and figured out his process. And then we were going to build a super team to do all these builds, and then my boss broke us apart because he knew he didn't have enough resources, but he knew he can put certain players at different builds and they'll just figure it out. And I was one of them. And I went from really not knowing much at all to being the lead carpenter for remote off-grid builds and new builds. And it takes a certain kind of person to learn in that matter, because you have to, it's trial by fire. You have to learn under pressure. And there was nobody was coming to save me and us and my crew. We just had to figure it out. And that is actually the greatest gift to give somebody like myself, because I learned that I can figure anything out, and that no mistake I can't fix. The mistake is part of the process. And some people they don't start because they're afraid that they won't be perfect. But it's okay, just get going. Same with social media. You want to do this game, just start, get going. You'll get better, you'll learn as you go. No worries, just be yourself. And so, yeah, what happened was I started hitting this trajectory of like exponential growth and learning. And then I was kind of at the top of what I could be as an employee. And there was just, my boss and I didn't see eye to eye, and I quit and came back to do a concrete pour, and then he fired me. And that's fine, we're still friends. And then I just was like, the job before that too, I got fired. I was just telling the truth. They were like doing things that were shady, in a sense, where they were like opening asbestos and not getting proper abatement in people's suites. They were a rental company. And I was like, no, don't do that. And I called them out on it. And I ended up getting fired. And so I just figured, man, if I run my own business, I can do whatever I want. It's Wednesday, and I am going for a surf. As long as my wife's happy and my clients are happy, I can do whatever I want. And so, so becoming a ticketed carpenter, you don't have to. You just got to get your reps in, and you just have to be a problem solver. You just got to be able to be cool with trial by fire, with pressure. And you just got to show initiative, and somebody will see you because you're valuable to someone if you can perform, especially if you can do it by yourself and you can succeed. And so now I run my own business, and yeah, I made it through the launch phase, which is a couple of years. I'm starting to hit the growth phase, and I make double what I used to make before. And my business now, I'm bringing more guys on, making some profits on markup and materials and sub trades, and that is profit for the business, which then I can invest into the business, right? Into social media, into marketing, into all these things. And so, should you go to school? If you want to. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it, but get your reps in. You get your reps in, doesn't matter what it is. If it's surfing, if it's working out, if it's social media, whatever it is, you're gonna get stronger. You keep going, you'll be dangerous. I promise you. So if there's something on my channel that you wanna know, comment below. And I wanna build a community here, and it's a two-way relationship. I wanna hear your thoughts, I wanna help you if I can, I wanna support you. Taking the leap of faith into entrepreneurship, or becoming a carpenter, or becoming a red seal carpenter, whatever. So this is what this channel is all about. I'll be dropping at least one video a week, and I really hope to see you here. I'm just working on the algos to take me, but I hope to see you soon, and we're gonna do some adventures, I promise you. So if you're into this content, then subscribe. Have a great day.